I had a relative call me and tell me that he had a bunch of work out here and everything like that. So I pretty much got rid of everything, come out here with a bag full of clothes, and was expecting work and stuff like that. And he pretty much lied to me.
I got a phone call from a social worker from the Fort Meade VA, and they told me that they had a veteran that they had just made contact with. He got out of a bad situation where he was living up in Deadwood, South Dakota.
I lived under a bridge for like 3 or 4 days.
And he actually walked all the way from Deadwood to Sturgis to Fort Meade VA.
And started the process there. And they started giving me names and stuff like that.
She was able to transport him down here to Rapid City where there's a little bit more access to services. He came in, sat down with him, had a conversation.
I didn't have nothing, because when I got here I had a bag full of clothes and that was it.
Within about under an hour of talking to him, I had him connected with a place to stay over at the Cornerstone Homeless Shelter, had him plugged into SSVF, HUD-VASH, you know, got him a shower, got him cleaned up.
It was in a real bad place, you know, and I wasn't real sure how it was going to go until I come here and started talking to these guys. I mean, they've been over backwards. They pointed me in all kinds of directions. They've helped me, resume, job interviews.
I learned that he was kind of a wrench turner, a little bit of a grease monkey, if you will. Very into motorcycles. So, you know, I told him, well, you kind of come to the Mecca when it comes to motorcycles. And we initially were looking at finding him employment working on motorcycles. We didn't quite find something with motorcycles, but we did find something with engines, so that was something that made him really happy.
Fred stopped in looking for a job.
They were looking for tech, but they wasn't real sure about me because I was a motorcycle mechanic, not really a car mechanic. But we sit down and I didn't know that, you know, I was a vet.
At the time we needed somebody. He knows the gist of being a mechanic, right? Even though he was a certified Harley mechanic, he knows what that's about. He wants to learn, he wants to get his feet grounded. And that's very important, especially, you know, around the area.
Next thing I know, man, I said, come to work on Monday. And then I come back, told Dan, and Dan helped me get the tools and everything, get started, get my foot in the door, and I've been there ever since.
HVRP, one of the things that we can do is we can help remove barriers to getting into employment. So, you know, here was a guy that, you know, up until, you know, very recently he had nowhere to live or anything like that. So, you know, is he going to have a Snap-on box full of tools? Of course not. He had the experience, he had the skill set to be a mechanic. It's just there's that one big gap where he doesn't have the tools necessary to do the job. So, you know, just sat down with Mr. Taylor and said, okay, well, what do you think tools-wise you would need to be able to do this job? And he said, okay, well, you know, I would need, you know, X, Y, and Z thing. And then we funded that for him so that he could basically walk onto the job and be ready to go.
It just amazed me how much they actually really care about vets out here. They kind of helped me a lot, you know, put me back into a regular frame of mind instead of that deep, dark place where I didn't think anybody cared or I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was just going to be, you know, another statistic on the street. If every vet place could be like this, we wouldn't have that many homeless vets. If it hadn't been for these guys here and everything like that, I'd probably still be under that bridge somewhere.